Alrighty, we are going to learn some basic functions about your keyboard today. First, this is your Casio keyboard. With your keyboard, you should have received a power cord, and today we're going to learn how to plug it in and use some of the functions on it. Now, the first thing that I want you to know is that this keyboard is school equipment, so please treat it with care and know that we would like to get it back in a wonderful condition so we can share the keyboard functions with the next group of kids that's going to be coming into music. So know that whenever you use your keyboard, it should be on a flat surface. Right now, it is sitting on my desk. So the flat surface that you could put it on could be your desk at home, a kitchen table, and possibly even a kitchen countertop. I would not put it on the floor because then that might have the chance of it being stepped on. So just know that you always want to have your keyboard in a flat area on a flat surface so that it can stay in a nice condition and so that nothing gets broken. Again, remember that the keyboard is school equipment, so treat it with care so that it may last and be used again. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to learn how to turn it on. So after you have plugged your keyboard into your outlet at home, you will see that there is a little jack behind here. There is two little sections. What you have is your power cord and then the headphone jack. So the headphone jack is here, and then the power cord is here. So this power cord is what you're going to take and put in the left side when the keyboard is facing you. The headphone jack is in place so that you can practice without anyone listening to you. But you don't have to have the headphones in for the keyboard to work. All you need is the power cord. And again, when the keyboard is facing you how mine is facing me, this little jack on the left here is what you're looking for your keyboard. Okay, so remember, the keyboard is on a nice flat surface so that it is safe. And the next thing that we're going to look at is how you actually turn your keyboard on. Now, when you turn your keyboard on, there is a power switch, and your power switch is right here. All you do is right now it is in the off position. All you do is you push it to the right, and it will turn on. You will see in your LCD screen right here that there are 2 zeros and a little metronome, okay, on your LCD screen. That's what you should see when you turn it on. If you do not see that, please contact me as soon as you can so that we can make sure that everything is working properly. If the LCD screen is not on, make sure that your keyboard is plugged into the back and plugged into the wall. Okay, so again, to turn it on, you push it on to the right, and you should see the LCD screen with the 2 zeros. Now what you're going to do is once it's on, you are going to test out the keys. So you can test out the keys by playing in the lower range. You can also test it by playing in the middle range. Okay, and in the upper range. Okay? Alright, so these are ways that you can test out your keys. You can hit 2 at a time. Okay? You can do 2 at a time, but also know that these keys are very fragile. You don't want to be hitting them too hard. You want to be very gentle with them. Alright, so the next thing that we're going to look at is the volume slider. Now, if my volume is all the way down, and my LCD screen still says 00, and you touch the keys, and nothing is happening, that means that your volume is not on. So I'm touching the key, and as I touch the key and I move the volume, you'll hear that it can actually get pretty loud. Okay, and you can also make it go higher and lower. It just slides from the left to the right to make it louder, and then from the right to the left to make it softer. Okay? Alright, and then the next thing that we're going to look at is these 5 keypads that are right here on the piano. there are 5 different percussion sounds that you can use. So the different percussion sounds sound like this. And when you press one button at a time, you'll get different sounds. You can only press one button at a time. If you press 2, you'll only get one sound, or it'll be kind of jumbled. But you can use them together to make different sounds. Okay, so you can use 2 or 3 of them at the same time if you're feeling like you want to do some percussion. We won't use these in class or to practice, but those are what those buttons do, just so that you are aware. Alright, so now we're going to look at how we change the sound of our piano. Like I had said before, the basic sound on your piano is a 0, 0, which is the regular piano sound. Okay, so that is your regular piano sound. Now the sound, if you want to change it, we're going to start by looking at the tone. So your tone button is up in this cluster of buttons up here, the 3 black keys. Okay, so the first one that you're going to look at is tone. It's in orange, and if you press the tone button, you'll see that there's a small arrow in the LCD screen pointing to the word tone up at the top. Okay, so when you press the tone button, it should be on the arrow, and you can look in the tone bank to find the different tones that you'd like to listen to. So the 2 ways that you can do this is, number 1, by scrolling with the minus and the plus sign over in the keypad area. And so what you can do is you can use those 2 buttons to scroll. So if I press the plus button, it goes up and I get a different tone. Okay, and 0 through 11, it says on the tone bank, are some different piano sounds. So here, let's hear a couple of different ones. Okay, so you get some different tones using the tone bank. So if you want to go back down to the piano, you can scroll until you get, do you see how it's moving down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0? You can use the plus and the minus buttons to scroll. Or if you know what tone you want to use, you look up in the tone bank. Let's say that you want to use a violin, which is 35. While you are in the tone bank, pressing tone, press the numbers 3, and let's see here, so 3 and 5, and then you should get a violin sound, and that is a violin sound. Okay, so that's a violin sound. Just to have an example of using the keypad again, what if we used some brass? So let's do 46. A trumpet. Okay, and then you can get back to the regular piano sound by pressing 0, 0. Okay, alright, so that's how you use the tone bank. The next bank that we're going to look at for changing the sound of our piano is going to the song bank. Now the song bank is there so that you can listen to different songs, play along with them, and practice with them. We won't be using this in class, but it is fun to look at and to listen to different songs on your keyboard. So to get to the song bank, it is very similar to using the tone bank. In the same cluster of black keys up here, you press the song bank key. It is right underneath the tone key, the song bank key. You press it, and you should see the arrow go down to song bank. Tone is at the top, and then it'll move down to song bank. Okay, once you have pressed it, so you press song bank, you make sure that the arrow is pointing, and then you go over to the song bank, and you see which song you would like to listen to. So for example, I'd like to listen to Ode to Joy, which is 0, 0. So we'll press 0, 0 in the song bank, and then to play Ode to Joy, you would press this start, stop button. Okay, so you do song bank, You look at what song you want. I want 0, 0, which is Ode to Joy. Go over to the keypad. You can press 0, 0. You can watch that in the LCD screen, 0, 0. Or you can scroll to find it, but since it's 0, it's already there. So 0, 0, and then you hit start to start it. And then you press stop to stop the song. So again, this is a start and stop button. You use this button both times to start and stop the song. So I start the song, and then I stop it. So just another example of how to pick a song from the song bank. You press song bank, and let's say that I want to do Jingle Bells, and that's number 7, so 0, 7. I can scroll up to it, 5, 6, 7, or I can press 0, 7. And then I hit start to start it. And I press stop to stop it. Okay, and the last sound that you can use on your keyboard is the pattern portion of the sound bank. So for the pattern, you're going to go in the same cluster of 3 black keys, which is right here. There is the tone up in the top, song bank below it, but next to it we have this pattern button in purple. So you'll press pattern, go to the LCD screen, make sure it is on pattern, and then look up here underneath the 50 different patterns so you can find one. So let's try 0, 0. Let's just start there. It's a pop section. So once you do that, you hit pattern, find your song, press it on the keypad with the numbers that you want or scroll, and then you hit start, stop. So start, and then stop to stop it. So I'll show you again. We hit pattern, make sure it's on the second one down in the list on the LCD screen. Pick an actual pattern from there. Let's try 15. So 1, 5. You hit start to start it. And then stop to stop it. And those patterns will continue to play. And you can play those patterns while playing the piano. So for example, I'll do a rock jazz pattern. So I click pattern, I check, I want rock jazz, which starts on 10. So I hit start. And maybe I want to play Ode to Joy to this. So let's see what happens. And then to stop it, you press stop. Okay, so that's how you use the pattern, the tone, and the song bank. All you do is you press the key, you make sure it's lined up in the LCD screen in the right place, you pick from one of the banks, and then you can scroll or punch in the number in the keypad. That is how you use the different banks in your keyboard. The last thing that we're going to look at is the tempo. The tempo in music means the pace of the song or how fast and slow it goes. The tempo button is right here. There's a minus and a plus symbol, slower or faster. This is how it goes. You'll need to play a pattern. So I'll play my rock one again, and here it goes. I'll start it, and then my tempo can go down. Or it can go up and go faster. So maybe if I get really good, I can start it at a regular pace and play Ode to Joy with it. Or I can make it faster. Alright, and then that is how you use your Casio keyboard.